Welcome back to Ice Wolves Insider, and it's now time for our usual From the Stand segment. And on this evening's program, we're joined by Ice Wolves followers Randy Mihilewicz and Terry Helary. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Kelly.
All right. Terry, before we start talking about this weekend action that we saw here in LaRange, let's talk a little bit about how the team has been doing in terms of corporate support, fan support. What can you tell us in terms of an update there? Actually,
Kelly, the support from the community has been tremendous. The support on the marketing side, our season ticket sales are up. I think everybody still has the excitement carried over from winning this past season, and so it's carried on, and everybody's really pitching in. Our volunteer base is way up. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know the coach is not really a fan of this year's schedule, but I guess from the corporate side of things, is it almost a blessing in disguise to get these home games in the other part of the season and not worry about road games and expenses that come with that until October?
Well, no, not necessarily. Really, the reason that the scheduling's worked out the way it is because there's several rinks around the league that are just undergoing renovations and just weren't available to play in them. So I think every team has issues with the schedule this year because of that.
Hmm. All right, so let's talk about this weekend's action. Obviously, a great start for the team, 2 wins. What did you see over the weekend? How would you assess the team's play?
Actually, I think our team played really well. We've got 13 kids back from the run last year, and they've got that winning attitude. They know what it takes to win, and it's rubbed off on the new recruits that are in here, and I like what I see.
All right. Randy, what did you see this past weekend? How would you assess the team's play?
I thought they played well. There were times, Kindersley game, to be honest, I thought first period was a little bit, the first half of the period was a little bit sloppy. It is early in the regular season, so it's to be expected. But overall, I'm pretty happy so far. There's some areas that will definitely improve, and I think they'll do really well this season.
Yeah, offense doesn't really seem to be a problem at all in the early going, both preseason results and first 2 games of the weekend here. However, what we did see was the team jump out to 4-goal leads in both games, and the opposition kind of came back there. Just how do you see, the team, moving forward there, Randy, in terms of the talent that you've seen so far? Do you think they've got the guns this year to really make a dent in the standings again?
Absolutely. Up front, they're phenomenal. You got Lyndon Smith back, which, well, you don't have to say much about Lyndon Smith. We all know him. Curry this year, I think, will. I'm guessing he'll make a run at the scoring title this year. He's that talented. Descharme they got in. They picked up a lot of talent. The back end, it'll come. Goaltending, first 2 games. Well, Bartko, we know Bartko. He got us where he did last year. He knows it. He can play a little bit better, but he knows that. And I know he will. He knows it, and I'm sure we all have confidence in our goaltending. The way I see it, it's a player or 2 away from a long playoff run again. So.
Yeah, and certainly the early returns are encouraging. Obviously, they have a young blue line this year, only 2 veterans. Did you guys notice anything about how the defense played? How do you think they played over the weekend? I'll start with you there, Terry.
Actually, we do have a young defense, and it's going to take a little while to, for the guys to, I think, just get the feel and the know-how of, controlling that puck, moving that puck out, quick passes, and it'll come with experience.
Yeah. Randy?
I actually thought the defense did all right. The 2 returning defensemen that we know, they played well. The younger guys, there's a couple good young guys they got there, I see. Enns can fill in back there, as we've seen very well. But like I said, it'll come. I think they'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about what everybody's talking about, in the wake of the Kindersley victory. A lot of fireworks in that game. It started with a a pretty devastating hit on one of the Clippers' top players there, Andrew Dommett, who apparently is hurt pretty bad. He's got a broken jaw and all the rest of it. What did you guys see in that play? And then, of course, the ensuing fracas. I'll start with you there, Randy.
Actually, to be quite honest, I didn't see the hit. I saw the blood on the ice, but not the hit.
Yeah.
After the big scuffle in that, I noticed Lyndon Smith was really disciplined there. I kind of thought Kindersley lost composure after that, and the Ice Wolves made him pay. It's hard to say. This new rule with hits to the head and that, I don't know. It's good for the game, but the refs got to be careful how they call it. That's my personal feeling on it. Guys getting 5 minutes for hits that maybe should be 2, but having said that, I understand why they're doing it. They want to eliminate the hitting to the head, and hopefully it works out.
Yeah, it is kind of like the hit we're talking about. Just a few years ago in all leagues, there would be absolutely no question about the legality of it. And now, in this day and age, there's these new rules, and so I guess we'll see what the league does. But Terry, what did you see in that skirmish there? What is your reaction to what happened in the first period of that Kindersley game?
Well, Kelly, I think it started out, where I think it was Dayton Fossum laid a pretty good hit. And then I thought, as a result, Kindersley then basically tried to start taking it to us. And I think that hit was innocent enough. It was basically, guy crossing in the slot, and you just don't know what's going to happen there. It's tight quarters. And unfortunately, Dommett got hurt. And, it's not something that anybody wants to see. Right. But certainly, I think from the fan standpoint that Kindersley came into our rink and tried taking it to us physically, and backfired on him. Yeah.
Okay, looking ahead, we got 2 pretty exciting games coming up this weekend. The Humboldt Broncos, who are also 2-0 after the opening weekend. What are you guys predicting in terms of what we might see come the weekend? I'll start with you there, Terry.
Well, I think you're going to see two really good hockey games. You've got Humboldt. We of course knocked off early in the elimination series there in the spring, and I'm sure they would like to give us some payback. And they were the 3-time defending SJ champs, and they are hosting the Royal Bank in 2012. And I think they've started building a pretty good hockey team this year. And I think it's going to be great. It's going to be great hockey.
Randy, you get the final word on this coming weekend there.
Well, I think it'll be a really good weekend. From what I heard, Humboldt seems to be really good this year. We got Bob, though. Bob will have him ready for Humboldt. I can pretty much guarantee you that. They're raising the banner. I think it'll be a good weekend. I'd say 1, maybe 2 games. We'll get 1 for sure, maybe 2.
Sounds good. Well, guys, thanks very much for being on the program tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right. If you're just joining us, this is Ice Wolves Insider, and this has been our From the Stand segment. We'll be right back to wrap things up. Well, that's all the time we have for this evening's edition of Ice Wolves Insider. I want to thank my special guests this evening. That would be Ice Wolves head coach Bob Beatty, as well as Ice Wolves players Phil Belanger and Aaron Enns, and of course our Ice Wolves followers Randy Mihilewicz and Terry Helary. Of course, just a reminder, the Ice Wolves are back in action this weekend, 2 home games against the Humboldt Broncos Friday and Saturday night. Both games are at 7:30. Well, that's all the time we have. We'll see you next time.